Hello, welcome. All right, let's get into this reading. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I feel like Spirit just kicked my butt so that I would open up. Probably a devil that really works for my Heavenly Father. They just don't know it yet. All devils work for God, so they work for my daddy. They work for my daddy. But I was on the ground, I guess, because I was disappointed. I was disappointed because I was all dressed, ready to go out yesterday. And then my plans got derailed by information I wasn't even expecting. And I could have still made it work out. I could have still went. I could have still had a good time. But honestly, what it brought to me and greater clarity, and I feel like this is for everybody, when you find yourself on the ground, it's not always the situation. Like, you can dwell on it and you could be like, oh no, look, nothing ever works out for me, look what's happening again, oh my god. You could freak out, and I have been that person before, but it does not help. Honestly, what I realized is that clearly you don't want to go as much as you thought you did, because something that I want to do, I don't care if I'm up, I don't care if I'm down, I don't care what the hell I'm going through, it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. So like, you can't stop me from making it happen. You can't stop my masculine energy from being initiated within me to do what I need to do to get the job done. Like, you can't stop me. Nothing stops me or blocks me when I am determined and I know within every fiber of my being that this is what I want to do. So I know for sure that I didn't really want to do it that much. Okay. So acceptance is everything. Acceptance is everything. Does it mean I'll never do it? No. Does it mean that I might do it a different way or go a different place? Yes. So was it an opportunity? Possibly. Was it really something that I missed out on? No. And I shifted my perspective and ended up having a great evening in spite of it. But when I woke up in the same vibration that I really pretty much just fell asleep without knowing I did. Like, the lights were still on my bed. And I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, what time is it? I literally had one drink, so I don't even, it's not like I passed out, but maybe I did. I haven't been drinking, so that probably was it. It only takes one. It doesn't take much when you haven't really been drinking, so maybe that was it. But passed out, woke up on the ground, and it's like, oh, okay, let me see. What do I need to do now? So one of the things that I realized is I have not been to the table on YouTube to do a reading. So here we are. It's going to be collective. It's going to be general. So take whatever resonates, leave what doesn't. All right, let's get into it. All praise to the Most High. Trust your intuition over mine. What do we need to know, Spirit? What's going on in the collective that is of relevance? Anytime you get grounded, it's because you have work to do, you have business to take care of. That is typically when we get grounded. My life is a little bit of the opposite. If you work like a 9 to 5 or you consistently work throughout the week, then likely you are feet on the ground daily. Okay, so your weekend could be your time period to really take your feet off of the ground, to relax. For me, it's kind of the opposite. We fly high, we have a good time, we come down a little bit, we do the work, and then we fly back up, because my schedule is very fluid. So right now, I feel like I'm on the ground because there has been a lot of energy that has been moving around. And specifically for my channel, there has not been a peep or a sound of the current energy. Even if I have uploaded videos, they likely came from days ago. There has not been a peep from my table for the past 2 days for sure. So that's too much, too long for me. As far as energy goes, I receive energy daily. And so, yeah, I got to catch up. So I'm just going to run through this energy, and I'll elaborate on whatever energy feels like it needs to be elaborated on. All right, let's go. We have long haul, in it to win it, long-term intentions, and invested. This is lipstick evidence in reverse. Okay, so there's a commitment here. Someone's invested in a connection or a commitment. They're in it for the long haul. This could be a journey. This could be a ride. This could have a lot of stops along the way. This could have no specific time that you're supposed to get there, but you could both be on the same road traveling to the same space because you are invested in that place. You're invested in the journey. You're invested in your vision. You have a vision with someone, and I feel like one or the both of you are invested in seeing everything through to the goal. You're invested in reaching the goal, whatever that takes. We also have infidelity, caught cheating, and betrayal in the reverse. We also have by Felicia. So this could be someone that's out of a connection. Peace out. Thank you. Next. Leaving, not caring. All right. They're invested. They could have already come from a connection that they were invested in. For some of you, this person was married, or they were in a solid commitment, or they have financial entanglements, children, okay, assets, something like that, where their lives were crossed or intertwined. So if you're wondering, I feel like that's the question. Is this person like with somebody else? Are they going back to their past person? The answer is no. In fact, they're not even emotionally attached or connected to the past person that you're asking about with bye Felicia, peacing out, thank you, next, leaving and not caring. Doesn't have to be that this is the masculine, it could be the feminine. But whoever the past person was, they're done and they're at peace. Okay, so that's a big deal. They're at peace. As far as cheating or, the betrayal or infidelity, who is that? Rebecca Adams, shut the fuck up. You're going to hell too because you're in here. Y'all be killing me with your fear mongering. Hello to the rest of the chat, but this is why I don't even pay attention to it until I clear out all of the karmic energy that's on my desk. Because then idiots like Rebecca T. Adams get to come in and spill their toxic bullshit all over the fucking place. Get a life. Or at least have a little bit of grace, because what you're getting from me is a reflection of your fucking energy. I could spit in your face if you were here. Like, literally, get the fuck on. All right. So someone is like, okay, so I don't know. Maybe somebody has been dealing with these kind of difficulties. Just because you're at peace with the person and their nasty, rude attitude, or their nasty, evil way of handling things, or their inability to heal or let you go or to feel good about doing anything else, you may have someone who is a energy vampire. So they thrive off of being able to drain your energy. They thrive off of being able to feel what it is that is coming from you. Okay. So that's possibly why I haven't been at the table. I have an energy vampire that's used to feeding off of my energy. And so a lot of times they can keep you from living your life. You will shy away from the things that you are meant to do. You won't show up, not because you're showing up for them, although they may be able to benefit off of what it is that you do. It's not that you would shy away from doing it for them. You shy away from doing it for you. So for some of you, this may even have something to do with business that you needed to take care of, or you could have kids with this person. You would not show up and be your best self do what you're supposed to do for your children. You would not be your best version of self for your child to see or your child to enjoy because you're too busy fighting with someone who just wanted to trigger you. It's someone who like literally wants to pick at you. And so the more energy you throw at them, the more energy they're receiving and you're losing. So those are the type of situations you want to blot out instantly. What it's doing is helping you to shore yourself up. You've got to get over the doubt. You've got to get over the doubt that whatever it is that you are thinking, whatever it is that you are feeling, that it is not relevant. It is relevant. It's telling you something. It's helping you to turn in the right direction. Because where you're headed, whatever you are invested in, whatever you do want to pour yourself into, it looks like you got a long road ahead of you with a lot of potential for you to make wrong turns. So these are distractions. So I feel like whoever you are, that's likely what you've been doing. You had to become rebellious. This could have been someone that you were actually, you want to be compromising with this individual. You would love to do what it is that they're asking of you because you would love for them to do what it is that you are asking of them. And then the two of you could work harmoniously. Maybe this was what you were trying to have in the first place, which is why this was likely somebody that you used to be committed to. Because when I work with you, you work with me. It's a happy family. It's a happy life. It's a happy team. It's, whatever. We get the job done and we do it together. So someone really appreciated that and someone really likes that. But I feel like they're having to rebel against that. They're having to go against whatever your expectation for them is because it's the only way that they can get out of some kind of space that they feel locked into. So I do feel like whoever this past person is, they're trying to lock onto you or lock you into a place or into a situation that you don't want to be in. So this is why you're having to detach. This is why you are likely rebelling against this individual because you're tired of that. You're tired of this dynamic where someone gets to steal your energy just because it's like they get your energy when you're feeling nice. They take advantage of you. They get your energy when you're guarded or when you're angry because they trigger you. The only way to truly get out of this situation is to detach completely. To lose all momentum emotionally on the situation. It's the only way that it dies down. It's the only way that these leeches, these energy vamps, back the fuck down. Like, Rebecca, if you scared, go to church, bitch. If you scared, go to church. Don't sit up in a tarot reading. This tarot isn't going to help you. Likely, the demonic entity that I'm talking about is you. Go to church if you scared. I can't help you. I can't help you. I can't help you. Your words don't come from joy or Holy Spirit. They come from fear. They come from devils. That's what you're talking about. Okay? Period. All right, so let's see. And that could be another thing too. The person that you're connecting with is stuck in operating from a place of fear. You already know how life goes when you get stuck in fear. Likely you have been in fear, which is why you haven't gotten to your end goal in the first place. Which is why you're still on the same road and having to pull out your map and having to pull over to the side and having to see how you made a wrong turn and how you end up at that, dead end again. It's because you have not been detaching. It's because you haven't taken your power back. It's because you're not standing 10 toes on what you know. It's because you are allowing these doubts, these seeds of doubt to get in again for the win. For some of you, you are dealing with someone religious. That's why I have this Jesus freak fearmonger in my chat. Because every time I get one of them, that's what it reminds me of. I come from a religion that thrived off of that. It fed off of that. It fed off of the woes and the issues that humanity faced and the fears that they were under, because the religion offers a light, it offers hope, it offers peace, it offers ease, and it is conditional. It's conditional upon you adhering to what the rules of the religion are. You follow these rules, and what they're selling you is peace and love and happiness. These are all things that you were born with. These are all things that are free. So you don't have to sell your soul to any of these entities, any of these religious corporations who, disguise themselves as an entity. You can't see the entity. The best way, the truest way, the most purest way to connect with God is to connect with God yourself. And then you'll be able to see that light reflected in other people, and you'll know whether or not they're good for you. Because there's a lot of entities. And I don't care if a lot of religions say that they're Christianity, but they're all doing it differently. Why? Because these are man's rules. These are man's laws. They're devils. They're in control, but they are working for a God that they know. It may not be the same God you know. You have to see how it's working out for you in your reality. That's why open-mindedness is really the key to spirituality. But a lot of these religious organizations create so much fear within people that they're actually blocking out the very light, the very nourishment, the very enlightenment that they have been asking for, that they have been seeking, because they can't see it, because they're afraid of it. They run from it. And that does send you on a destruction path. Because again, there is an entity that feeds off of your fear, just like there's an entity that feeds off of your love. Love is not scared. Fear and love cannot exist at the same time. That's why I go so hard on fearmongers who come in and talk about, oh, this is demonic. Oh, they're trying to do this and they're trying to do that. Bitch, you scared. You're scared. And you cannot be at the bottom of the vibrational scale in hell, stuck in fear, and think that you are at the top of the vibrational scale in love at the same time. You just can't. So that's how you know. You'll know where you are. You'll know where someone else is. And it depends on if you're afraid or if you feel confident and secure. But yeah, if you're scared, go to church. A lot of times that's what you need to realign yourself. For me, the Bible is a great tool for me. When I wake up and I have a scripture on my app and that scripture is literally reading my life or currently where I'm at or what I'm doing right now, it is like a light bulb for me. But it does alert me to the fact that I'm on the ground, because the Bible actually vibrates lower than God's space or love. The Bible vibrates in fear. Religions vibrate in fear. Google it. All right. Tiptoeing. Avoid getting caught acting shady and sneaking around. Okay, so someone feels like whatever they're invested in, they feel like something about it is shady, or they feel the need to not let other people know about it. So it feels like it's something they have to hide or something they have to tiptoe around. It also could just be to protect you. They could be afraid of how them being themselves, being their truth, or you, this is you. You're afraid that being your truth or saying what you need to say, doing what you need to do, and not caring about others, how that's going to affect you in the long haul. You may even be afraid of taking steps toward the things that you are truly invested in, because you don't know how it's going to affect your life in the long haul. That is fear. So someone does have you in a grip of fear. Someone has you fearful to do what you feel is good for you, something that you're committed to. You got to go all the way back. See, sometimes it is good to go to the past, not so that you can dive off into, nostalgia. Oh, the heyday. Oh, it was so wonderful back then. Who cares about back then if it's not happening now? The goal is to get back there, not get lost in the la-la land, but to get back there and figure out, what did I do to become so committed to this in the first place? And is that still true? Because if what it was that got you committed in the first place is still true, and there is literally no new information coming towards you currently that would disrupt or change that reality, then what you are listening to is fear. What you are operating out of is fear. And it's so subtle. So you got snakes in your life. There are a lot of snakes along this pathway that you're on. Snakes operate just like, what was I talking about? Energy vampires, energy leeches. It's sneaky, hidden, okay? These are like words laced with acid, laced with toxicity, laced with negativity, laced with doubt. They slowly corrode and tear down your optimism, your faith, your belief, your confidence. It's trying to turn you in the opposite direction. It wants you to turn your car around because you're on the right road now. But you may have entities, you may have corporations, you may have secret societies, you may have family groups, covens, witch covens, groups, warlocks who have attached themselves to you. It's all kind of shit out here. Doesn't matter. The point is, somebody that used to have you in a space that benefited them no longer has you in that space, and they're trying to put you back. They need you to turn the car around. You are operating from your internal guidance system. That's what you're operating off of. Your internal GPS. And you are likely getting to a goal. You're on your way there. Along this road, though, and literally the long haul is like my 10 of Pentacles card. Okay, this is my Wheel of Fortune card. At the end of this long ass road, there is like a pot of gold. So it's literally really good for you. You're moving toward your destiny. You're moving toward your whatever your goals are for prosperity, financially, materially, your family. All of those things are at the end of this road. So because this road is that important, and many don't even get on the road. They don't even get a foot on the road because they're so trapped and stuck in fear. They got so many bounds and chains on them. They may not get here this lifetime, but you have found the road. You're on it. So that's an accomplishment within itself. But what you need to focus on now is continuing down that path. Regardless of what comes at you, you need to be rooted like a fucking tree in your truth and your beliefs. Your roots are not on the ground. Your roots are inside of you. That's why nobody can do exactly what you do the way you do it. Nobody can do you. Nobody can be you. Nobody can even imitate you that closely. So I feel like you do have people who are tiptoeing around you. And you may have been tiptoeing around them. So let's take a moment. Who's really in fear in this situation? Who really has a reason to be in fear? Let's look at everything, like seriously. You have to take a moment and really look at what's happening. For me, the biggest confirmation for me is my chat when I don't want to look at it. Because all I see in it is a bunch of people who are afraid. A bunch of people who want me to stop what I'm doing. Who want me to give them my attention. Who want to try to throw shit or throw shade on something that I'm accomplishing. Why? If we really look at it, should I say, oh no, I've been doing this long. It's been helping me in my life all this time. I have other people, I used to do personal readings, who really benefited from what I do. But now that I'm doing it for free, there must be something wrong with it. Oh no, it's black magic. Oh no, I should go back to all of, because I had all those fears. That's why I can see them. I know you. I used to be you. I used to be you. You're just curious. That's why you're here. It catches your eye. That's why you're here. Likely it's a part of you. And if you let go of your fear, or if you stood up to who the fuck you really are, you would be doing the same thing that I'm doing. You're nobody. You're a lame. You're a loser. You're stalking people that you do not know, and you're going into their chat to spit out negativity. You're literally a lame, a loser who is trapped in fear. You need a psychiatrist, you need a therapist, you need emotional help, and you may need an exorcism because you are currently feeding off of the devil himself. But a lot of times these situations and issues, they have to come into our life. Otherwise, we would never wake up and just face the fucking facts. Just look at it. Just look at what the facts are. Nobody should be able to shake or rattle you from what your personal internal truth is. Their opinion is just an opinion. And likely, if it was meant to be like a rock or a stone thrown at you, in my opinion, and this is Erica talking, throw it back. I don't know these people personally. They don't know me. They could be people that I see and know in my everyday life. They could be part of my family or friend groups who are, operating under another name, trying to, you know what I'm saying, fuck with me. They could be bots. They could be, I don't know, lonely, miserable, like I said, losers and whatever, lames. That's possible too. It doesn't matter. The point is, I don't know them. So when they come in with their shit, I spit in their face. So I don't know what it is that's coming up against you, but I feel like you keep taking it in and you need to get it out. So for some of you, you need some kind of expression. You need some way to express yourself. You're taking in a lot of negativity because you're on the road to light. You're doing something right. But all of that light is attracting a lot of people who don't have light. All of their light is gone. They're stuck in fear. They're in darkness. That's why everything you do seems they're wrong. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should stop this. Maybe I should stop that. You can't live for these people. They're not even living for themselves. They aren't trying any new things. They aren't doing any new things. They aren't trying to reach goals. They're trying to stop you from reaching yours. Focus. You have to focus on what it is that is important to you. And I feel like you are already almost there, but it's like you have to get fed up to do it. You have to get over it. Look. Sometimes you have to hit the ground. I don't care. And be happy. When it's something really small that goes wrong, be happy. Because that was just your warning. That was just to wake you up. You were starting to veer over to the left or veer over to the right. You were falling asleep at the wheel. That's God waking you up. That's the universe waking you up, shaking you up. Hey, hey, hey. Because for some of you, you weren't just rebelling against this person or rebelling against these people. You were actually rebelling against yourself. You were rebelling against your truth, what you truly want to do, what you really feel is right. Don't start moving so fast that you start moving for other people because they're taking you off your path. Why? Because there is a little spot within them that is a void. It is cold. It is dark, and they don't know how to fill it. But that light within you looks like that is what is your motivating and driving force, and they want that too. A lot of them don't know how to do the work you do. A lot of them don't know how to humble themselves to ask you or to seek out knowledge or to humble themselves under the mighty hand of God so that they can be uplifted and enlightened. Some of them don't know how to do that. The only thing they know what to do is to throw rocks at you, throw shade at you, tear you down secretly, covertly, or even underhandedly in your fucking face to drain it from you. It's time to stop that. You have to take your power back. You have to take your attention back. You have to take your focus back, and you have to put it on you. What you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and why. All right, I just saw a moth. So I feel like you have protection on your side, okay, as you're doing this. I do feel like your path is protected. So you are getting these wake-up calls long before you go down that road. So a lot of you are not going to find yourself. If that's part of your fear, I'm going to make the wrong turn, I'm going to end up lost all over again, and this is going to happen and that. No, you can't go back where you've been before. You have protection. You have spiritual protection. So that means that you've not only done this before, but whatever you went back to do, it was protected for you. That journey back was protected for you. So you're going to get through a lot of the hurdles, hoops, the things that used to derail you or they derailed you previously. You will not fall completely into those traps anymore. You just can't. You can't. The universe can't make you unlearn what you've already learned. The universe cannot make you lose the wisdom, the knowledge that you've already applied. It's still active. And in the moment that you need it, it will be right there at your side. I don't know who needed to hear that, but it felt like it had to be said. All right, yeah. Okay, good. So today you're not having any issues is what I'm getting. Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up the phone, so leave a message at the tone. So you're not dealing with whatever these issues are. For the majority of you, it's not even about what's going on physically. It's because someone is having all of these emotional issues and all of these emotional upheavals. And they could be having it in relation to you. Why? Because you're doing what you feel called to do, because you're following your path, because you're living in your truth. I'm sorry if that rattles people's feathers around you, but it will. And they'll all pretend like it's not, especially if what you're doing is like seen positively from the outside, or if it is very practical and not just for you, but like for other people too. So they cannot come through like how these people in my chat, they're coming through and saying certain things, but these people could never say these things to you in your face because they would be embarrassed to even be the person that thought that they could get over on you with that. Okay, so it doesn't mean a lot of them are smiling, a lot of them are nice, but in the inside, they're the exact same way as what I just got the full display of in my chat down here. And they're quiet now. Why? Because when you turn the light back around on them, it silences them. That's all they really need. They need that attention, but also they need that clarity. I'm going to remove them. Yeah. And continue with what I was doing as if they never existed. And that's what you got to do in life. That's what you have to do in life. Unfortunately, when people act ugly, when people show their true colors, when you start to see that whatever is going on, and possibly a well-meaning body, a well-meaning individual typically, but you can tell that the energy they're operating off of has them moving viciously with you, you have to shut it off. You have to close the door. It's like they don't exist anymore. Maybe it's temporarily. Maybe it's going to be for the long haul till you reach your goal. Maybe they've lost their immortal soul and you'll never connect with them again. I don't know. But it really doesn't matter. In the moment, it's still the same thing. Detach. Disconnect. Do your own thing. So that's what I'm feeling. Whoever this person is, this could be someone who has detached from you. It's not even like they're detaching because they're going to be with somebody else, or, you know, because they can't wait to hop with someone else. This is lipstick evidence in reverse. You can't find nothing on them. Okay, you could spend all your time running after them, checking their, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, if people still tweet. What are all, social media. You could spend all your time stalking their social media. You could be stalking their house. You won't find shit on this individual because there is not anything to find. What they're doing is detaching from you for the sake of their own personal peace, because they experience more peace by themselves than they do when they're with you. And maybe because something that they want to do or something that is within their vision, it rattles you, it makes you feel some type of way, or this is you and this is how other people are reacting to you. It ruffles their feathers. They're intimidated, they're jealous, they're envious, they're fearful, they're scared, they doubt it. Who cares? It's all negativity. So whoever this person is could be detaching, or you are detaching just because you don't need the negativity. You don't need the pessimism. It's not helping you. It's not helping you. You got shit to do. You got work to do. And I'm telling you from experience. I leave my table And I just bask in this peace. Okay, yeah, I already did it. I already did it. And I'll do it again and again and again. And I always tell you guys, oh, I'm sorry, because I love being consistent. And usually you may not even notice, but I notice, because I know that literally I be at this table clearing out energy daily. So sometimes my channel will look like I'm still, uploading videos daily. However, that energy could be, from before, and for the collective, it's public, it's general, it's timeless. It may not be for you, maybe it wasn't for you when I received the energy. It could be for you next week. So perfect timing for that. But for me, I guess I'm apologizing to myself, really, because what do you guys care whether I'm recording it, live here and now, or if I recorded it 3 days ago? If it's relevant to your life right now, you don't care. But for me, I guess I'm apologizing to myself, because I show up for myself daily to get rid of this energy. But there are times when I have to take a break, when I have to take an emotional vacay. And I just don't want to. It's like I could. And that's what I remember thinking that, like, I could get a reading in right now. Oh, I could. Oh, I just don't care enough. I feel so good, I don't even want to share it. I feel so good, I don't even want to taint it. I was feeling good too, even though I know I'm on the ground, so I knew I had work to do. I knew that it would probably be some weird energy coming through, or weird energy on the table, one or the other, chaotic. I knew that that was going to happen, but I was prepared for it. I didn't mind. But there are days when life is so good, I don't even want to see what the cards have to say. I don't want to know about everybody else's energy. Fuck everybody else's energy. I'm going to ride this in my life right now. Be having my day one by my side, my best friend. He's only 5, but when I tell you we ride these highways together, and we have a great time. And so sometimes I just like to enjoy life and let our light shine without tainting it with outside chaos. And that could just be that somebody else, you may need to do that. Enjoy spending time with yourself. Enjoy spending time with your children. Lock into that, those moments, those time periods when life is really good. People who rattle that, or people who disrupt that, it's okay to get back. You don't know me like that. Not right now. Not what time I'm on. I'll see you when I'm ready. Yeah, we have my boo in reverse. So whoever this person is, this could be someone you're wondering, are they back with somebody else? Are they with somebody else? Are they moving on to somebody else? All I'm seeing is no. This could be a whole shit show over somebody who is literally just trying to enjoy their single life, trying to enjoy a life of peace. Maybe they don't even want to be single, but trying not to just feels like everyone that's trying to come towards them, or everyone that they want to come towards, they all got shit going on. So it is better for this person. It's actually wise on this person's part that they're choosing to protect their heart. They're choosing to protect their energy. They're choosing to protect themselves. Because this is what you need. Look, the whole time though, this person is getting ready. Look at that foot up in the air. Look at that foot up in the air. That shoe, that's the shoe that's ready. That's the shoe that's ready to win the race. So I feel like, even if you're taking this little time out, it's actually, you may feel like you're wasting time, but you're probably going to move 3 times faster, 3 times smarter, 3 times harder, 3 times, more accurate than you would have if you would have just kept going, even when you really didn't have it. When you kept doing, when you really couldn't do. When you kept giving, when you really couldn't give. When you kept sharing, when you really couldn't share. When you kept caring, when you really couldn't afford to care. So, yeah, do it when you can. And not just because you feel like you have to. That's where we have going against expectations. Sometimes you have to do what's best for you and not what's best for everybody else. Everybody's always going to have something that they need and want, and people are going to want to put you in that place. I have been outrunning that situation my entire life from everybody. Everybody. Because I was raised to rely on God. And even some of the people in my life who raised me that way, I would see them still look to other people, get angry at other people, go into depression because of what other people were not doing, would not do for them. That is another situation that I have had to outrun my whole entire life. Trying to lock people into positions they don't want to be in, and trying to get out of these dark holes of depression when we see that the people we want to fill in certain spaces don't want to fill in. It's about self-sufficiency and independence. Because from that space, if you can get there, a lot of us have fell into traps where it's so hard to get back to that version. You've already been that person. But to be that person, you were crucified. You were judged so harshly. Even the people, once you get there and they all come back, they're still seething and holding on to all of their resentment from the past when they could not get you to do, when they could not get you to be. They're still holding on to all of that. And then there's jealousy and envy on top of it because you made it. So for a lot of you, you're just fed up with the cycles that you've been going through. But if the cycle gets you to where you need to be so that you can actually be the person who could even deal with, because a lot of times the people from your past, you would never talk to them again. Literally, they've already had their opportunity, their chance. They showed their truth. They showed their face. They misused you. They abused you. They took advantage of you. They took low blows at you. They stabbed you in the back. Shocking attacks, gossip, guilt trips, all of the shit. You've dealt with it. The only way that you are reborn into a person that would allow somebody like that back into your life or into your space, in order to allow that person that grace, that mercy, you had to do the unthinkable, which is to go against people's expectations, defy the norm that they're used to, and rebel against whatever they were trying to get you to do so that you could do what you needed to do to get to the goal of being whole, to being you. And then once you get there, it is nothing for you to show grace, to show mercy, to be kind, to let them in. And without all of the guilt and all, like when they come in your energy, it's like a blank slate. But when you go into theirs, they've got all of this shit that they want you to, it's like all of these chains and all of these hooks that are already laid out for you. All of these nooses to put around your neck. So some of you are just fed up with that. You may be over that cycle. You may have gotten back to where you need to be, and you still ain't about to let these people from the past back in again. No, thank you. And for others of you, you just need to get thicker skin, do what you need to do so that you are able to be the person that they want you to be. Sometimes being the person that people want you to be means you have to do things that they don't want you to do. I have learned this with my child. There are times where I need him to go to his dad's. I need him to go to his dad's. Not just because I need a break so that I can, get back on top of my game, get back on top of things, clear out my energy, deal with my own emotions and feelings so that I can give all of my attention and time to you when you want it and need it throughout the week. Sometimes it's that, but sometimes it's also that I can tell he misses his dad. He's just mad because his dad isn't here. And so it's making him want to just say, oh, forget it. I'll just stay here with you. I'm happy. I'm content. I got everything I need. I don't need him either. But that's a temporary, momentary feeling. And for children, a lot of times they don't know why the other side of them isn't around. So it's not that they really don't want to be a part of, or they don't want to go, or they don't want to do. It's because they're actually kind of just trying to align themselves with you, because what they're seeing in the moment is you're here. They're not. So you have to be the one to wake them up to the fact that, yeah, but no. You got another side of you. And actually, I think that you spending time with that other side of you is going to make you even more appreciative of the time period that you just have with me. And then you can be excited all over again to spend that time with that other person that is the other side of you. For me, that was true in my family, and I grew up with a, two-family household. This was the time period where my dad was married to my stepmom, but I was going to different family members, different sides of my family on the weekends. When they re-implemented that for me, it became, it broke up the monotony. It was good for me energetically. It woke me up. It It also alleviated a lot of my fear and doubt about people that I felt would feel left out because they were not in my life. I had very strong emotional ties to the woman that raised me. But being able to check in on her and see her, even if it was just for the weekend, gave me the freedom throughout the week to do what I wanted to do and feel good about it, because I knew that she was doing what she wanted to do and she was okay too, because I had just checked on her. Children can hold fear and anxiety and worry and things like that. Even you, sometimes there is somebody you need to check on, you need to connect with, because you actually are experiencing worry and fear and doubt when you don't do it. So for some of us, it's the opposite. You are emotionally avoiding. You are avoiding the things that you actually want to do and need to do, because you're afraid of how that's going to affect you, when really you're making it worse for yourself. To check on them, to know that they're okay without you, or to know that they're doing good, or to hear what they're going through, and even being able to lend a hand or lend an ear or say what you need to say, is going to alleviate that guilt, that fear, that worry, that doubt. Sometimes there is work you need to do emotionally to get out of this. It's not always about attaching to someone else who can just uplift us or take it away from us. We got to do the work ourselves. So I'm not sure what side of it you fall on, but you could be more avoidant of emotional situations and attachments. But actually, there is somebody that you are emotionally connected or attached to, and it's with good reason. So you need to do or tap into or work on you, so that you are in a space where you can emotionally connect to that person and, get whatever confirmation or ease or release, whatever it is that you need. Peace. You're looking for peace. Okay, but anyway, I just feel like there are situations that you've been tiptoeing around, situations that you have not felt like you're able to fully get your feet on the ground with, or you don't really know what to do or how to move through it. Okay, we got rebound. So part of you just didn't want to take action too fast. Part of you, maybe you're trying to rebel against something that is like, you're rebelling against something that's good. So you're keeping yourself from doing something that you used to do that never worked out well for you. So that's like trying to fill a void with temporary options or somebody who you don't quite trust, okay? Unpredictable intentions. You really don't know what this person's intentions are for you, or you may tend to join or align yourself with people that you really don't know what their true intentions are or where they are emotionally. If they're, going to be good for you, you tend to be too open, possibly. So you connect with people and it's on these flighty, momentary situations, but it doesn't really help you in the long haul. So maybe you are keeping yourself from doing that by holding yourself back. So you're not doing what you usually do. And likely that's going to work out for you. For some of you, you've changed something. Okay. Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde is in reverse. So I feel like this is a situation that used to work for you, or you realized that it never really was working for you. This could have been a situation where you said goodbye to this individual with good reason, to maintain not just your peace, but their peace too. And it's literally a situation that you may have been through so many times that when you sever the cord, when you sever the tie, you are actually able to leave and feel good about it. You're able to leave, detach from your emotions, and even when you go back, you don't have the weight, you don't have the guilt, you don't have the doubt, the fear, or that excessive need to, I need to do more. You don't feel any of that. You feel at peace. So your detachment, you're doing it at the right times, or you're doing it exactly when you need to. And for some of you, it's just somebody that everything is fine and everything is cool until this person becomes too reliant on you, or too, it's like they attack their attachment style. So maybe, you have to do it in small increments, or you have to detach for a while. You have to, take your peace, take your leave for a while. But I feel like you're doing what's working for you. All right, but with the okay, so this fed up energy, this stressed out energy, I don't think this is you. I think it's whoever you detach from. This person, you had created a situation with someone. Maybe this is just a friendship. Bonnie and Clyde is ride or die, us against the world, dedicated partnership. And it does feel like that's what you're moving away from, but you're on the path to doing it again with someone else. But first you need to correct who you are, what you've done, how you've gotten into situations where you did have the long haul, but you didn't know how to detach from that person when it was necessary. Because if one person is going down underwater emotionally, even if they're at peace, if you're not at peace, you can't go where they're going. They're going down into these deep sea of emotions that if you go in it with them, you're going to drown. Because you're not on solid ground. You're not prepared for this. They've already got a seat down there waiting for them. They've got a comfy space, a cozy place to deal with whatever it is that they're dealing with. But if that's not the work that you've done to prepare that for yourself, you could latch on to this person. They could be so immersed in their feelings that you become immersed in feelings you didn't even know you had. And it completely just sweeps you right off your feet. It could also be a situation where someone is experiencing the opposite, and that's how you get into that flighty, temporary energy. You start doing things you really didn't intend to do or mean to do because you got connected with somebody else's energy. There is a need to detach or to rebel against whatever that person's expectations were for you. They could be taking a flight of fancy. Maybe you don't need to be on a flight. You need to have your feet on the ground because you're experiencing nighttime energy. That means you are in a space of not quite knowing where you want to plant your feet next. You're kind of in a space where you're going around that bend, but you can't quite see what's on the other side of it yet. You can't quite see what's at the top of that hill. Excuse my nails. I'm going to get them done. That's pretty much as soon as I finish this reading. But yeah, sometimes you can't see ahead of yourself. So we call that like the darkness. You're in that space where you have to wait. You have to wait. That's that space where generally that's where you're reeing up. That's where you're healing. That's where you're able to tap into your intuition. You start getting clarity and epiphanies about things that you weren't able to see when you're so busy in the light, moving, doing. This was your time period to be still, to heal, to rejuvenate. But when we align ourselves with people and we tend to do whatever they're doing or they do whatever we're doing, and for some of you, you might have a twin flame. So you guys are used to twinning. You do it at the same time and it always works. But when it's not working, you have to detach. When it's not working, you have to do your own thing. That's within a committed relationship. I don't care what it is. Me and my son have times he goes to his room, I go to mine. Sometimes. That is healthy. It's good because we're not on the same page and neither one of us wanted to bend or yield to the other person's will. So instead, we choose to separate, do our own things, and then when we do come together, both of us it's like a whole new page. I'm not irritated because he dragged me out of my room and made me go out to the park when I really didn't want to. He's not mad at me because I dragged him out of his room and said, well, I want to go shopping or I want to work on your numbers today, right now, at this very moment, and made him do what I wanted him to do, and it's not what he wanted to do. Like, that doesn't always work. That's what people have been doing their whole entire lives, just putting these chains around people of expectations, and this is what the norm is, and this is what you should do, and this is your title, and this is your role, and I gave you your job description. But if it doesn't pay, what's the point? And when I say pay, you can get paid in a lot of different ways. It can pay you energetically. It can pay you in upliftment, inspiration. It can pay you with love. It can pay you with happiness, with joy. It can pay you with money, opportunities, lucky circumstances. It can pay you with healing. There's a lot of different ways that something can pay. But if it doesn't pay and it only takes away, it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial. So it would be better This is a scripture that I'm going through now, but I'm understanding it in a different way. It doesn't just have to do with marriage. I love, if you guys are biblical, I love the Apostle Paul. He's my favorite one. The Apostle Paul. And when he spoke about marriage, he said, like, it's always good because you'll have somebody that's there, to help you. Two are better than one. But he also said that if you could, what's even better than that is being able to move on your own. And that's when you're in the spirit of God. That's when you're in alignment. Spirit of the universe, spirit of God, alignment with your whole total self, your highest version of self, your higher self, mind, body, soul. And you're moving in that energy. That wholeness that we're talking about, a lot of times you have to detach to get back to that wholeness. And then you can connect with other people who have also detached and got back to their wholeness. And now you can be two wholes together. And now you are more powerful than anything, than everything. Because that's what I feel here with this Bonnie and Clyde, ride or die, us against the world. It worked for a while until it stopped paying. When it ended up with cops chasing you and you having to dodge situations and circumstances that you didn't have to before, you having to deal with more mental turmoil or emotional turmoil than you had before, when you're having more physical disruptions or disrupts, or your energy is drained, or life isn't moving the way that it usually does, or things aren't good. There has to be some kind of benefit. Even when you skip school, even when you skip work, there has to be a benefit. It has to be good for you. Otherwise, you're not going to do it again because you learn from it. But sometimes we don't learn. So I feel like someone is just fed up because they hadn't learned a lesson. They kept doing what does not work for them. They kept trying to align themselves and ride or die with somebody, and then you just keep dying. You got to stop taking that ride. It's not good for you. It's killing your insides. And that does affect your outside. All right. And not for the better. Not for the better. When you're fed up, there's a reason. Somebody has a red flag, just see that and step back. The first way to detach is emotionally. That's the first thing you want to do. All right, what's going on? Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups. Somebody is rushing towards love or racing towards love. Let's see what this energy is. This could just be intuitively knowing that there is this connection. Okay, so some of you, maybe that's what all of this has to do with. It's just preparing you for the next long haul or long-term relationship. The next person that you are going to feel this ride or die energy, this symmetry, this connectivity, where this person just kind of seamlessly fits into your life. Some of you are being prepared for that connection. But there is a lot of healing that had to take place because you did quite a bit of sacrifices for this connection. Long after, likely, the connection was over. We got Bye Felicia back here. My boo is in reverse. Ain't shit been going on. Some of you even had a little rebound or something like that during the time period that you were trying to get away from them. So you've already pushed away from this person, but you're still going through emotional issues. This person's still getting under your skin. No, 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 no. That's because emotionally we are not detached. We are allowing them to continue to trigger us and reconnect to us emotionally. And they're creating a ride for themselves every time that we experience that emotional death. They're experiencing this ride energetically from us. So the way to cut that, and they're addicted to it. So that's somebody who will continue to keep coming in to get that ride off of you. Things don't go well for you. You have to descend in order for this person to ascend in your energy. And that's what they're using you for. That's what they're used to. They likely did that the whole connection. When they weren't able to stay up with you at the same time, they would literally weigh down on you to the point that you were facilitating the whole ride for them. You had to be on the ground while this person just flew around, happy, content, living their life, doing whatever they wanted to do, and you're just sitting at the bottom. Woe is me. But look at you. And that's not the way it was meant to be. That's not even a healthy connection or dynamic. And it is because someone is not detaching in the times that they need to emotionally. So they're getting stressed out and they're getting fed up and they're over it and they don't want it, but they're attracting more of it because of the temperament. So someone's getting under your skin, rattling your feathers, and that's how they connect with you. That's how they get in again. All they had to do was piss you off. So that could be a button here that you could be closing up, and you need to. For one thing, it will continue to create a third party for whatever new connection you tried to get into. Likely that's probably what happened with the rebound. That didn't work out for you. Maybe it was somebody you didn't expect it to be a temporary option, but then that past person comes in and they rattle your feathers again, and now you're seeing everything's red. You're seeing red flags all over the place. So you're extra hard on somebody who really didn't deserve it. So you're weeding that out. You're getting rid of that. And if it's not a person that you're headed to, but I do have somebody literally. This is either a person in particular you're already attracted to and you know where you want to go with this person, or you are just ready. You're ready for your soulmate. You're ready for your next love. Okay. But if not, the long haul could be anything. This could even do with business. It could have to do with your finances, things that you wanted to do in your physical life and you haven't done it. Why? Because you keep letting the same people in over and over again who tear down your desire, your goals, who feed you with their pessimism, their negativity, their doubt, their worry, their fears, and suddenly they become yours. And guess where all of that confidence that you started off with and all of that optimism and all of that light, guess where that goes that you started off with? To them. They get a temporary high off of it and you get a temporary low. So if this is not somebody that reciprocates that to you, then what are you doing and why? And how is it adding value to your life? Sometimes we give thanks for the people who can easily and quietly and nicely take us back down to the ground, because we end up reciprocating the favor. So those connections work really well when you need somebody to show you like, yeah, I think I need to rest. I think I need to chill. Yes, I think I need to look at that. Okay, maybe I need to get more on top of this. But you have to pay attention to the energy and how it motivates you, how it moves you, how you feel after it. You should not be feeling like this. That's not healthy. That's toxic. That also could be, yeah, literally black magic. Like the black sheep and the fed up energy, this red. It's just, they're so negative and pessimistic that they tend to curse people. They curse themselves and they curse others, really, with their words. Words are powerful. And whoever this person is, their energy is very dark and concentrated in the darkness. They kind of stay there. So this may be someone who does not often take a ride when they need to. They don't get into those high vibrational energies. And so they tend to harbor a lot of negativity and those negative emotions. Is someone who would need to heal. So your experience with them will often be some kind of reflection of the same until they take steps to change. You may have changed, but this person has not. So both of you were kind of stuck in this space where just negativity, pessimism, only the worst case scenario, looking at the, worst outcome. And everybody goes through that time period, but that's what I'm getting is that you got out of it. And this person could have got out of it temporarily, but again, we have flighty, temporary. So if you're doing it again, or this is what you tend to do all the time, like you stay in these low vibrations just enough to get what you need to get and then you're out of it, but this person tends to hold on to the ground, dig their heels in, and really stay down there, then you guys are not aligned. You're not aligned. So that does mean that you would have to let this connection go for you to be able to move in the way that your authenticity is guiding you. Because gravity, they'll hold you down. They'll keep you back. We do have that. The hangman, arrogance, stagnation, fear of sacrifice, delay. So someone is afraid. Yeah, okay, this is going back to what I was talking about. Someone is afraid of taking the next step or taking action because they're afraid of what it's going to do to their life. They're afraid they'll be crucified. They're afraid of what they may become aware of when it comes to other individuals, what they'll have to deal with. This is creating laziness or stagnancy. They're resistant to, I feel like they're resistant to even the energy that you're moving under. The energy that is propelling what you're able to do, that this person wants to do with you, they're resistant to that energy. Likely because they may have some grievances there. In that energy, if you're moving in God frequency and someone is used to only moving on the ground, that's the devil energy. You move in God's space, you got to pay God's fees now. That's why do you think all of these religions, they've all capitalized off of God's source energy? All of that joy, peace, harmony, these are, you might as well say it's like a job description. When you're moving in the energy of God, you are working for God. But you do have to pass the test. You have to pass the initiations. You have to have your resume. It has to, like, you know, that office, that little desk that's right at the pearly gates of heaven. We're entering heaven from earth right now, vibrationally, multidimensional beings. So these are different dimensions that you can move and operate in. But you got to get to the front desk. You got to pass the test. And that's individual. Okay? So that's what I'm getting, is that you may have fear that you're not going to be able to move in that energy, that you can't do that, or that you can't be that, or the person that's holding you back is someone who can't clear that energy. They would be like, oh, well, just turn around and come back down here on the ground with me. But the ground doesn't work for you. That's not the way you do things. You tend to align yourself with God because it works better for you. When you tend to depend on man, they disappoint you. Men or women, I'm just mankind. But when you depend on other people in your life, they've disappointed you. When you depend on God, you always get there. So your operating system is different. You may have someone who's used to depending on the people who are in their lives, and you are used to depending on God. So when it comes time for you to do things for both of you, let's just say both of you are trying to get to goals, you have to do it the way that comes natural to you. You have to honor your authenticity. If your way is with God and that's what works best for you, and this person is not right there with you, literally pretty much taking the place of God for you, then it ain't for you. You've got to let go and go with God. When life is pushing this person to ascend and they want to hold on to you, but you're going through to God and they got work to do before they can feel good in that energy, or feel stable, or feel that the ground, basically being with God means that you've done your work with the devil, the devils of this world. You've already checked what you needed to accomplish with the devils of the world. These people who have contracts on you. These soul connections and partnerships that you have to give and pour into. Your business, your finances, the things you have to take care of. You've done that work, which is why you are cleared to ascend and be in that high vibration where pretty much you're just trusting God at this point, that he's got the ground for you and that you can continue to pick up whatever is new. For this person though, they may not be there yet, so that it would not be good. Or if this is you, it's not good for you right now. What you've got to do is focus on the ground. What you've got to do is focus on what works for you. If tried and true is not trusting God, it's more so trusting your father, your mother, your auntie, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your best friend, then that's what you've got to do. Because that's what feels good to you. That is your alignment. That is your truth. It is a tried and true method for you. So it'll get you there faster. But once you get there, you may find that you are in the space where you actually have somehow aligned. You've taken care of everything you needed to do on the ground, and now you can go with God now. You could go with anybody. If anybody was higher vibrational reality, living in a higher vibrational reality, having a higher or better experience than you, you're good to go. It's kind of like being on the same airplane. Sometimes they have first class tickets where people did not sit in those seats. So they'll offer them to people who pay for coach. But if you didn't even pay for your ticket for coach, you can't get on the plane at all. They're not going to offer you the first class ride. But yeah, you can slide up to first class once you pay for your coach ticket. If there's an extra ticket left and you've taken care of what you needed to do to get on the plane, period, just for you, then yeah, you can afford to take this person, up on that offer to join in first class. You can do that, but you've got to do the work on the ground first. So I don't know which end of the spectrum anybody falls on, but yeah, it just won't work. You'll get those temporary highs and then you'll find yourself flat on the fucking ground on your ass looking around like, oh shit, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. What about this? What about that? So it is good to detach. It is good to be in your own space and your own energy so that you know that you are taking care of what you need to, so that you're not caught off guard. And connections that are for you are going to be there when you're ready. What else? The Hangman. The Moon in reverse. Okay, so someone's already getting that, already accepting this or seeing this. They're seeing when they need to let go. They're seeing when, they have their opportunity to ascend, when it works for them, when it doesn't. So this is someone just learning how your connection, I feel like learning how the connection flows, how it goes, what works for you is not like a cookie cutter situation where it's always us against the world or always us against everybody. Sometimes it has to be you for you and them for them. That's even in a relationship. That is even in a marriage. You still need to be you. The person they married was you. If they married you when you were whole, that's what they're expecting. Now, if they married you when you were just a part of yourself, they may only be like committed to that one part of you that you were when you guys got married. So you have to pay attention to that too, because you still deserve wholeness, and so do they. But all connections may not be able to operate with that, okay? So we have the Moon in reverse. Somebody took their like away. I'm sorry you don't like the reading. I'm just reading the energy. There are other readers, though, that only read high vibrational energy. I'm going to give you everything that come on my table. But feel free, because I used to watch them too. And they give you comfy, cozy little situations to fall asleep in. And that might be better for you. But here, only the real. That's all I can do. I'm so sorry. All right. So anyway, we got somebody here that says the Moon in reverse. So they're gaining clarity. They're releasing fear. They're finding out their truth, releasing suppressed emotions, conquering their anxiety. And that's likely what's creating this ease and this peace for them. Meanwhile, we have someone who, or this could still be you, is that you have this peace. But what you're going to do next is be able to be decisive. So what comes next for you is a decisive energy. Pretty much being able to see through what you need to see through, making the decisions that are right for you effortlessly, seamlessly, without expelling a lot of your energy. So something's going to become easier for you to do. Pretty much it's a yes or a no. There are no maybes. If it's a maybe, it's a no until it's yes. What else? Yeah, the Three of Wands. Finding your direction and being able to move forward. So likely you're just moving through some chaos. Yeah, this is the death of the old you yet again, or the fragmented you yet again. And that's what happens too when we connect ourselves to people who all have a different viewpoint of us, who all have different expectations, who all have different things that they want from us. We tend to fragment ourselves to try to fill the shoes that everybody wants us to be into, when really the only shoes you need to be in are yours. And then you can choose to walk in whatever door is open to you. So I feel like this is you finding your direction again. The chaos is clearing. The indecision is clearing. Your confidence is coming back into proximity for you. So you're going to have the experience that you expected to. Also, this is you moving forward on your path. So if you were on that road, you're getting ready to be on the road again. On the road again. I can't wait to get on that road again. So something was feeling good to you. You were on a beating path that felt, right. And you're headed back there. For some of you, it was just one night, one moment, couple hours. Doesn't matter. Your time period is returning to you where you are back on path. You know what to do. The doors are open for you. Things are working out for you. That's just where you needed to be. You're back there now. This is a transformation. This is the closing of a cycle. So you've learned that lesson. And if you're making this pivot turn, if you're, letting go of what has got you into this energy of being stressed and fed up and over it and frustrated, if you've released that or released the attachments to the individuals that trigger that energy within you, then you are completing this cycle. You are ending this cycle. So again, this is another one of those distractions or those little roads off on the side of you getting, are we there yet? No, but you're getting close. And likely you won't get drawn into any of these little pit stops that are not actually good for you. Yeah, we got a trucker trying to take you out and don't do that. Stay on the road. I don't know if anybody's ever traveled at night and you're driving, but you want to pee before it gets dark and you want to try to hold it and not stop again until the daylight comes back in. Okay, so when you make that stop before it gets dark, make sure you get your food, make sure you have everything that you're going to need so that you can make it through that dark time period, and hopefully you won't have to make any other stops or get distracted by any other things that could pull you in or pull you to the side. Not even a thought. Oh no, what about my tire? What if this goes wrong? What if this? Nope, none of that. We're going to ride. We're already safely in the car. Car's got gas. We're going to ride that car to the other end of this. And then the daylight will come in and you can stop and do whatever you need to. But yeah, we have with transformation, death, it says the ending of a cycle, transition, getting rid of the excess, okay, and the birth of a new opportunity. So something new will come of this, is what I'm getting. And not for everybody. Not for everybody. Honestly, this card says the birth of a new opportunity, and on the bottom of the deck is falling on Bonnie and Clyde in reverse. It could be this other person that you were connected to, maybe your marriage partner, maybe a friend, a family member, I don't know, but there is someone who will not experience this opportunity with you. They won't go with you. Sorrow, shattered dreams, underachievement, overindulgence, dissatisfaction, and failure. So they could have been overindulging in flights of fancy, thinking that something was going to turn out the way that it is not. And they may be dissatisfied. They may feel like their efforts were in vain. But I'm getting that this is the right decision for you. And sometimes making the right decision for you will not make everybody else happy. So you just have to pretty much know yourself. Know yourself. Know thyself. At this point in your life, is it more important that other people are happy with you or that you are happy? Which one works best for your life? Which one pays out best for your life? Because that's the key to life, is being happy. And if your happiness is derived from the things that you do for you, then you can also trust that other people can get to a happy place too by doing what they need to do for them. So I'm going to leave this reading at that. I'm going to leave this energy right here. And I will see you guys in the next live. I will be back. Bye.